I have often wondered just how sad this world would be without Santa's reindeer and a glowing Christmas tree. But when the nights get colder and autumn fades away, I know it won't be long until the happiest of days. It'll be Christmas before you know it. We'll all be together again. This time of year, it's good to be near my family and my friends. It'll be Christmas before you know it. The sky's looking starry and bright, strolling along to a holiday song, caroling into the night. The girls and boys wish for toys when they sit on Santa's knee. If they're good and do what they should, the toys will be under the tree. It'll be Christmas before you know it. It's getting ready to snow. We'll reminisce and steal a kiss beneath the mistletoe. Children dream of awakening and rushing down the stair. They stay up late 'cause they can't wait for old Saint Nick to be there. To be there, it will be Christmas before you know it. The holiday season is here. We don't have to wait to celebrate, 'cause it'll be Christmas. It will be Christmas. It'll be Christmas before you know it this year. It's here.
And she ain't kidding. I am so excited. Let me get this a little bit larger here. Here I am. Everybody, welcome to the show. It's Thursday afternoon. I'm doing this today instead of tomorrow because tomorrow night I will be back at the Laurie Beachman Theater live and in person. So there are a few seats left. So if you're interested in joining us, please join us. That, of course, is Karen Mason. And when I think of Christmas, I think of Karen. I mean, I just absolutely, I don't know what's going on here. Here she is. I can't get her on. I'm having problems here. The gremlins are in. There you are. But now I got to get myself back on here. Here we are.
What a cute hairstyle that was.
Well, here you are. And Christmas is
Hi,
almost
Richard.
here. Well, first of all, tell us about that song.
My husband wrote it. My husband, Paul. Oh, my God. See, this is the bad thing about seeing yourself.
Oh, you look great.
You're sweet. My husband wrote it, Mr. Paul Rolnick. And yeah, you know what? I love this song. It's Paul. We have it in like 3 different versions. Paul has sung it. I've sung it. Billy Stritch has sung it. And yeah, I'm really proud of this song. You know, it sounds like a standard to me.
It does sound like a standard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been hiding inside of him all these years.
Well, I think he wrote it. I know since he met me, he wrote it. So I think it's maybe like 10 years old, maybe 8 or 10 years old. Yeah, you know, he's Jewish, so he loves Christmas.
Well, you know, Nat Burkus was on The View this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about Christmas decorating. And he's Jewish. And he said, but it takes a Jew to write a Christmas song or to decorate our homes for Christmas. And and when you think of all of the great Christmas songs, Most
Right.
of them were written by Jewish men
Yeah.
and women.
And women. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just such I guess it's, it's a beautiful sentiment about it, but it's not quite so sloppy that, I probably would write a very, tear jerking, about being home. But there's always a keen eye with, the Christmas songs that we have, which is what I like about them.
Now, are you a Christmas person? Do you enjoy the holidays?
Yes and no. I think like everybody else, I feel great pressure during the holidays to make it the best holiday I have ever had in my life. And not being able to go back and spend time with my family that's always the hard part.
Yeah.
I miss them. Most of my family's in Chicago or actually in Australia.
Wow.
And yeah, so, I don't get a chance to see them at the holidays very often, but I have my husband here, and I like to put up a tree. Actually, it's funny because 2 years ago I gave away our tree because I thought I'm never home. I'm always working. I never have time to put up the tree. And then I missed it. And so I went out and bought another one. So,
well, Danny and we go the traditional route. We put up a live Christmas tree. We've got the perfect space in our living room for it.
Wow.
And we love doing it. And to me, that night that Danny and I and our pets running around, going through the lights and the ornaments and everything, to me, that is the epitome of Christmas for me.
Yeah.
Because I love this. And we made a pact a few years ago. We don't go through this craziness of trying to get gifts for each other.
Yeah.
And if people are interested in gifts, give me a call and let's do dinner together. Let's go and see a show together. It's these life experiences that mean much more to me than any things. And as I'm about to jump over the mid halfway point of my 60s any minute, there are no more material things that I need anymore.
Right. And if you needed it, you'd go out and buy it yourself.
That's right.
And, I think that's the clarity of getting older, is that you realize time is the most precious gift that somebody can give you. And we have somebody going by who's having a problem. But no, it is. I totally agree with you. I'd rather somebody take me out to dinner, or we share dinner, or, but reconnecting is most important thing during the holidays for me.
Well, I want to talk very quickly about your upcoming shows, December 19th, 20th, and 21st at the Green Room. I love the Green Room. Ben Remmelauer is doing such a great job there.
He is. It's my first time doing a full show there. So I'm looking forward.
I just love it.
Oh, good.
I love it. And I'm hoping to get there to one of them.
Yay.
We do have a conflict one of those nights, but I'm not going to say what it is because this is about you today. But I'm doing a show one of those nights.
Oh, are you really?
Yes, here in Rockland County. It's a benefit for our church. So,
oh, how beautiful.
I'm very excited about that. But before we bring our next guest on, I want to talk for a moment. Our topic today is about caring. Mm-hmm. And when you think about caring in your own art, what does that word mean to you personally? Not the industry definition, but your own personal definition.
Yeah. To me, the word, I try to invest myself in caring. It matters to me, the quality of the show I do, the quality of the songs that I sing, and the quality of the people that I work with. I care about all of that. I care about sending a message of, hope and without sounding really lame. To me, it's all about sharing, knowing that we're all in this human experience together. You think you're the only person going through this situation, and it's like, wait a minute, no, let me sing a song about it to tell you that I've been through it too, and we can all share that. That's the caring part for me.
That's great.
And yeah, it's I feel, we're all very fortunate in what we get to do. We
Amen.
really are. We are very fortunate in that we share and care. We share that caring, I guess, is,
Mhm.
and let people know that they're not alone.
What a great answer. That's perfect. Well, speaking of not alone, we're going to bring someone else into the mix now. So
Excellent.
you get to pick the next person. Pick a number 1 through 4, and we'll bring on the next person. So pick a number 1 through 4.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry.
Oh,
3.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. Well, I am so excited to bring her on stage. She is an incredible actress, and she's been doing a show for several years called Unsinkable Women, Stories and Songs from the Titanic. Well, now she has released it into the world. She's put this into a book, and women around the world can now do this show. And Deborah Jean, the book, is it coming out?
Well,
in
actually,
January?
it's not a book. It's a play. It's a play. So it's got 9 characters, and these 9 characters were all on the Titanic. So we know about the Titanic. It's a popular subject. It's what happened to these 9 women after they got off of the lifeboats and what they did with their lives afterwards. So I'm sharing stories of women who might not have a voice otherwise. I did the national tour of Titanic for 21 months. I was a swing for 7 people. I listened to the play. It's beautiful music, beautiful stories, but I wanted to know more about the women who, once they got off the lifeboats. So I started writing it, and in 2000, I did a reading at the York Theatre Company, and then a producer saw it, and he invested in the show, and I've done it for 25 years. He helped to book the show. It's been done at 160 venues in the United States and abroad. Throughout this experience, I've met descendants of the Titanic. I got to meet Walter Lord, who wrote A Night to Remember in the early 50s. He actually interviewed survivors, and I was kind of wondering, like, it's easy kind of to talk about the first class, but third class, second class is kind of hard. And as I loved the fact I got to meet him before he passed. He had Parkinson's. And anyway, I said, what do I do about the third class? And he went, use your imagination. Which I love. And if you saw the movie Titanic, they used A Night to Remember. He was still alive when they did that movie. And the musical of Titanic was first, then came the movie. There are songs in the show. All the songs are from the period. So they're all like, at the time there was no television or Twitter or Facebook, and people could just talk about it. So everybody had a piano, and there were lots of songs, and it's been an extraordinary journey. And then, Karen talked about as you get older, and as I get older, I realize if I don't write this down, and if I don't get it published, if I decided to evaporate one day, nobody would ever tell this story. And for me, there would never be great monologues for women. Not to say that there aren't great monologues for women, but we need more of them. And we need more of them in high schools and colleges and small performing arts centers. So it'll be at the Drama Bookshop, not only in monologue section, but in the play section. And yes, I did it by myself, but it can be done. I said, but I've never heard anyone else speak these lines. And I had an assistant, Britta Joy Peterson, and she said, Deborah Jean, you need to have a little reading, and you need to get some people to say those words. And I phoned an agent that I knew for many years who represented all the little girls that I did Annie with from 1979 to 81. And they're certainly old enough to do them. But I asked this agent, could you find me some women, young women, between the age of 16 and 24 that might want to read the play? And I didn't tell them anything. This is your part. Have at it. This is your part. These are your words, and we're going to just read it for me. For me and my assistant. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful because I said, number one, somebody gave them a part. I did pay them to read. And for some of them, it was the first time they'd read a play that was new. And I said, this will be published. Once I knew that it was going to be published, I wanted to make it. You can't ever make it perfect, never perfect. But I'm very grateful to Leighton Coleman III, whose great aunt was Daisy Spedden, and she published a book called Puller, the Titanic Bear, after the sinking. There were I have met descendants of the Strauss family, Ida and Isidore Strauss. I've met. There are all kinds of. I went to the mansion in Newport where Madeline Astor was married during the Mamma Mia tour. I went, I'm close enough. I can go to Newport on my day off and maybe see this. So I did a lot of what they call site-specific research. And I had luckily I was on tour with Titanic, and then I was on tour with Mamma Mia, and that gave me the
something you and Karen have in common.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got.
Deborah, I need to bring our next guest on in a moment, but before I do, I want to ask you, and I pretty much think I know the answer to the question I'm going to ask you, because obviously it's coming through with the way that you're expressing this. I mean, you're so moved by this new opportunity. How do you balance caring for an audience with caring for yourself, especially when the work is so emotionally demanding for you?
Well, humming a little bit helps every day, singing a little bit every day to sort of tune into some sort of peaceful sound. And a little bit of deep breathing helps me, because when I did the show and doing 9 different characters, there are 9 different body centers, there are 9 different accents. I care for myself because I am a soul trader. I'm the only one on my ship, and I can't be sick at all. So I take care of the temple that was given to me, and I go to bed early if I have to. And I don't. Hey, I don't drink. I can't. It won't work. Lots of water. I try to stay hydrated. I try to stay calm. I do stay thankful, and I'm thankful for every person in the village that made this publication possible. And that on January 8th at 7:30, January is my birthday month. I have a lot to celebrate.
I'll be there. And Karen, if you're available, join me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be back.
Thursday night at 7:30 at the Drama Bookshop. And if you haven't been to the new Drama Bookshop, you're missing something.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
Last 39.
Well, Deborah, let's bring our next guest on,
Yes.
and you get to pick the next person. Pick a number, door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3.
I like 3.
Well, let's get a little glimpse. She's got a new CD that's just come out, and she's going to be at Chelsea. I like to say Chelsea Tables and Chairs. She's going to be there on Saturday night. Here she is.
No more blues, I'm going back home. No more blues, I promise, no more to roam. Home is where the heart is, the funny part is, my heart's been right here all along. No more tears, and no more sighs, no more fears, I'll say no more goodbyes. If travel beckons me, I swear I'm gonna refuse. I'm gonna settle down, and there'll be no more blues. Every day while I am far away, my thoughts turn homeward, forever homeward. traveled round the world in search of happiness, but all the happiness I found was in my hometown. No more blues, I'm going back home. No more dues, I'm through with all my wandering now. I'll settle down and never roam and find someone, build a home when we settle down. There'll be no more blues, nothing but happiness when we settle down. There'll be no more blues. Turn homeward, forever homeward. I've traveled round the world in search of happiness, but all the happiness I found was in my hometown. No more blues, I'm going back home. No more dues, I'm through with all my wandering now. I'll settle down and never roam and find someone, build a home when we settle down. There'll be no more blues, nothing but happiness when we settle down. No more blues, no more blues, no more blues.
And here she is, Maria. Congratulations. It sounds incredible.
It was such an incredible experience making this CD. I have to tell you, I didn't know what to expect. And boy, was it so much fun. Yeah, it was so much fun. I got to work with, David Friedman is the producer of this album. And we worked in a studio in Norwalk, Connecticut called Factory Underground. And it was just so great. I learned so much, I had no idea what I was getting into.
Maria, you may want to get a little closer to your microphone.
Sure. Okay.
Yes.
I'm moving forward. Is that better?
That's much better. Thanks.
Oh, good.
So what can audiences expect on Saturday night with you?
Well, we're going to go through the whole CD from the first song to the last. And it's interesting because I just pick songs that I love, jazz tunes that I love. And it probably happens to a lot of people. You pick what you love and then you realize there's like a theme. You didn't realize there was going to be a theme. And then there's this thread that happens and you go, wow, okay. So it's really all, the CD is all about the ups and downs of love, the twists and turns. So there's some ballads in it and some uptunes, and it's a journey about love, So so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the whole CD on Saturday night. I'm excited.
So how long has the process been from the moment that you said, I want to do this CD until this very moment?
A year. Oh, till this very moment, a little over a year. Mm-hmm. We went from August to August, and then, of course, it's then the producing, making the actual CD and doing all that kind of stuff and promoting it. Yeah. So it was a year.
So what has surprised you the most about the CD now that you've given birth?
That I could honor the music that I love.
That's really wonderful.
And honor the composers and the lyricists. That was my aim.
That's great.
And my aim really is to broaden the audience, the jazz, the audience for jazz, because a lot of people at least people that I talk to find it kind of difficult sometimes to sit through some jazz stuff because it's very different from cabaret.
Well, don't you find that a lot of people have no idea what jazz is? I mean, honestly?
Well, it's, the genre itself is broad. I mean, you know, you can have really kind of new kind of jazz, and then you can have standard jazz, But I think you're right. I think the term jazz gets used a lot and not really in the most correct way. So people don't really, they get confused. I think so with cabaret too. People are like, what's cabaret?
I know. People still ask me that, especially after they've seen one of my shows. But Maria, before we bring in our next guest, I want to ask, who was the first person to show you care through art? I mean, to show what caring about your art is really about. And how has that shaped who you are today as an artist?
Oh, wow. The first person I met, I didn't meet her in person, but I met her through her music. And I would say that's Carmen McRae.
Wow. And
Because
what was it about her?
It's because she connected with the lyrics. She said, I can't sing a song unless I'm connected to the story. And I won't sing a song unless I'm connected to the story. And when you listen to her sing, she's telling a story. For me, it really impacted me. Yeah. In such a beautiful way. I love her.
Well, Maria, you're going to bring on our next guest. So pick a number 1 or 2, and they're both waiting patiently, hoping it's them. So
Okay.
1 or 2?
Okay. 2.
Well, she's also a singer. Here's her latest CD.
The old prospector's nose for gold, the sailor who can read the sky, the gambler's sense of when to fold, the trick to making apple pie. These mysteries one cannot explain, this old black art so queer and quaint, like making love or making rain. Either you got it or you ain't. Some cats know, you can tell by the touching. They don't come on a huffing and a puffing, grabbing and a clutching. Some cats know how to take it nice and slow. But if a cat don't know, a cat don't know. Some cats know how to stir up the feeling. They keep fooling around till you're halfway to the ceiling. Some cats know how to make the honey flow. But if a cat don't know, the cat don't know. Some cats know just where it's at. They're not like some others. I would draw the one just like that. If I had my druthers. Some cats know how to play nice and pretty, nice and soft, and soon you're off to good time city. Some cats know how to take it nice and slow. But if a cat don't know, well, the cat don't know. always pretty, nice and soft, and soon you're off to good times. Yes, some cats know how to take it nice and slow, but if a cat don't know, a cat don't know. You just don't know.
And here she is. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Richard.
What a great recording.
That was done the week before the shutdown
Wow.
in 2020. So, and we will be revisiting it next month, and it's going to be very interesting because the world has darkened, and it is part of an album that was released originally 50 years ago by the great Peggy Lee, called Mirrors, and
she knew a thing or two about cats.
well, this the all the songs on the album are written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, who are rock and roll icons.
Yes,
And 5 years after Peggy Lee won the Grammy for Is That All There Is, one of the most Brechtian tunes you can think of, they came to her with a concept album that they wanted to do because they had a whole trunkload of theater songs, art songs that they had written for theater pieces that had never made it to full productions because as pop writers, they really weren't taken seriously as serious theater writers. They submitted sketches to what became Dear World, which they lost out because they were told they wanted someone with more experience. They tried to get the rights to Tennessee Williams' Camino Reel.
Wow.
Oh my God. And so anyway, so they come up with this incredible collection of art songs, theater songs. And they really run the gamut from like fun, poppy, sexy tunes like Some Cats Know into a song that's about the murder of Ramon Navarro. And the lyric reads like a Ouija photograph and called Tango. And so
now, have all of these songs been published before?
They my relationship with this started maybe over 20 years ago when Lenny Watts did a summer series called Under the Covers.
Yes.
Where he invited singers to sing their favorite record.
Has that been 20, how many years did you say?
It was like 2004, that summer, I want to
it's
say. We are, we're timeless.
I know.
But anyway, I wanted to do this album, and my pianist, John DiMartino, had the music. He had found it in a secondhand bookstore. And I was shedding the songs on other gigs, like at the Midday Jazz at St. Peter's and this, that, and the other thing. And somebody came up and took my card and was like, "Oh, I'm a big friend of Mike Stoller. He'll be so excited that someone will be doing this record." And I was like, "Sure you are." But I gave him my card. And the next thing I knew, I get a call from Los Angeles. "This is Mike Stoller. Where did you get the music?" And I said, "My pianist bought it in a secondhand bookstore." And he said, "Do you have a pencil? There are corrections I need to give you." And
Wow.
please videotape the show because Jerry and I we love this material. We know it's not commercial, but we would really like to stay in touch with you. And so that was sort of the beginning of my relationship with the Messrs. Lieber and Stoller and the Mirrors Project. So it's
now, do you have a show that's going to be coming up celebrating
Well,
all this music?
Urban Stages every Christmas, the first 2 weeks in December, does a wonderful festival to benefit their educational outreach program. It's a 99-seat house right near Penn Station. It's really I just saw a fabulous show there. And I birthed other projects there. So when I realized that it was the 50th anniversary of the Mirrors Project, I was like, and because the last time we had done it was sort of cut off at the knees because of the pandemic, it was kind of like, oh, why not? And I submitted it to be considered as part of the Winter Rhythms Festival, and I will be doing it 9:00, December 11th, which is a Thursday at Urban Stages.
There's something special about Thursday nights. Are you in touch with Amy Stoller?
Yes, I know her. I know Peter Stoller, and I had email. I love this because Jerry Lieber passed a couple of years ago. Mike and I have been in touch. I just released a recording in 2023 called These Precious Days, and there were 2 songs from the Mirrors Project on that album. Some Cats Know without the verse, and A Little White Ship, which is the song from Camino Rio. And I was watching Ham for Ham. I think it was back in June. That's the impromptu thing to do. And it was the theme was the Tonys. And Jinx Monsoon had been nominated for the Gilbert and Sullivan
Pirates musical, yes.
Pirates musical. But she didn't really have a song to sing. So she said, I'm going to sing a song that I just like a lot. And it was the first song from the Mirrors Project, which was from the Mad Woman of Chaillot sketch called Ready to Begin Again. And I was just quelling. So I got the YouTube and I sent it off to Mike, and I found the timing, and I was like, Mike, you have nothing to worry about. The Mirrors Project may never be a production in itself. I said, but the songs are in very good hands if Jinx Monsoon is doing
That's amazing.
Again. And he wrote me back. He said, Amy already sent me the link.
Most of us know that, it was Jerry Herman who got the Mad Woman of Chaillot, Dear World. But that is a show, as much as I love that score, that's problematic.
I just went to see it at Encores, and it was wonderful to see, but in my mind, because of the 2 songs I know that were part of the Lieber and Stoller sketch, I was like, wow, it would have been a very different show. It would have been a little darker. It would have been. But
is that edgier. Show could that show ever be produced?
Like I said, these were sketches. These were not full productions with a book and all the moving parts that musicals need. There were like 1 or 2 songs. There was maybe 1 song. And the problem with the Mirrors Project on a whole was, think of this, 1975. What else came out that year? The only trippy album I can think of is Queen's Night at the Opera. But I mean, the Mirrors album, they had Johnny Mandel arrangements, a full orchestra, and there's Peggy Lee, and no explanation what these songs were from, what they were about. And pretty much, I mean, I've done several incarnations of this production, and being a radio person, it's kind of become important to sort of walk people through. And also the other thing that's happened, especially in the last 5 years, because these songs are very theatrical, most of them are very dark, very negative, very depressing, is the challenge to put it into a piece. Right. But the other thing is, what's become very interesting is the world has darkened.
That's right.
Around this piece. And so every time, when we did it 5 years ago, it was like my dad had died. And my take was different, deeper. Coming out of the pandemic, John DiMartino and I started to shed the material. And it really, every time we do it, it's like breaking open a box of exotic perfume. Wow. It's a wild world to inhabit.
I want to get Bob on, who's been waiting very patiently.
Yes, please do.
But before I bring him on, I want to ask you very quickly, can you recall a moment when your art made someone else feel seen, heard, or understood in a way that surprised you?
Well, this year especially, I did a gig in March, and I just did another gig, and I've done several gigs, and this after the election, and the world is quite tumultuous, and I'm getting the vibe from my audience that they need to be sung to. They need music. They need what we do. And it was funny, I guess it was March. It was the first time I had sung since the election, and Marianne Faithfull had just died, and I did this Tom Waits tune that was written for her called "Strange Weather," another Brechtian kind of a thing, where the chorus is, and all over the world, strangers are talking about the weather.
Wow.
All over the world, it's the same, just the same.
Well,
And I just said, people, we need to make noise. And a woman came up to me after the show who I did not know. And she just said, thank you for voicing what's been in my head for
wow,
months.
That's wonderful.
So that's like, you've done your job, baby. That's it.
Well, that's incredible. Well, speaking of doing their jobs, Bob, I know we're celebrating women today, and even though Bob is here, he's celebrating Judy Garland, and which is very unusual for a straight man to celebrate Judy Garland. So,
unusual,
Bob, why? First of all, welcome to the show, and
Thank you.
why Judy Garland?
Why Judy Garland? Well, because I actually worked with Judy Garland back in 1967.
Wow. What was the occasion?
You know something? I'm getting feedback through my earbuds. So what I'm going to do is, after you ask me a question, I'm going to pull out my earbuds so I don't hear myself. Okay.
So what was the occasion? And now remove the
The occasion
earbuds.
was 1967 at the Felt Forum of the New Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
And Judy Garland had done a show earlier that year at the Palace Theater with her youngest children, Lorna Luft and Joey Luft. And Sid Luft, her ex-husband, produced it. And that show did really, really well. So they decided that they were going to do it again around Christmas time in the Felt Forum of the New Madison Square Garden. And because it was Christmas, they wanted to add some kids to the show. And I was one of the kids that got added to the show, even though I was one of the oldest kids. I was 15 at the time.
Wow.
Can you hear?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Did you? I had a friend that worked on that concert. Was one of her backup dancers, Charles Walrich. Did you know Charles?
I probably knew them, but not, by, wouldn't remember right now because this was 1967. I remember most of the kids I worked with.
But I mean, here you are, a few years later, and now you're going to celebrate Judy Garland.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond the fact that you and Judy actually work together,
Mm-hmm.
what are you hoping that audiences are going to come away with from your show, with your show?
Well, so many people, there's this whole legend of Judy Garland, all the tragedy in her life and all that. And I don't want to focus on the tragedy. I want to focus on the performer. And this show is about what Judy Garland meant to me as a performer and as an actor. And so that's what I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating the influence that she had on me and the special quality that she had. Which very strangely, I compare her to another performer, which is kind of slightly prior to Judy Garland, but they did work together from time to time, and that was Al Jolson.
Mm.
And if you notice, when you hear, a lot of Judy Garland songs were also previously done by Al Jolson. And the two of them had something in common. And what they had in common is they put everything they had and emotion into every song. And that really struck me when I, from the time I was a little kid. I was, I was in love with Jolson and I was in love with Judy Garland. And thankfully, Jolson died as old as I am. Jolson died 2.5 years before I was born. But I got to work with Judy Garland, which was great.
Now, there are so many songs to choose from in a show such as this. So what is your process in terms of how you select your song choices?
Well, the songs I chose are the ones that had special meaning for me, the ones that really impacted me. And I don't want to give away the show, but I will tell you one of the songs that I'm singing is an extremely old song, a very famous old song called The Battle Hymn of the Republic, because she did that as a tribute to John F. Kennedy. I was a kid when John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and it affected me and all the kids in my generation so much that when she did that song, it was like a catharsis. It lifted us up. I think it lifted the whole country up, but it really, as you know, the kids at that time, he was like a second father to us.
Yeah.
So when he died, it was like losing your own father.
And there's a very interesting story for those of you who don't know about how Judy Garland got away with singing that song on her show.
Right.
Because the execs at CBS did not want her to do it. Look it up. It's a great story.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you, and then we're going to go around. I've got questions for each of you. But what practices or rituals help you stay open-hearted in your work that doesn't become mechanical in terms of just singing these songs again?
Well, first of all, I have my own in-house director. She's my wife, Marilyn Spanier, and so she makes sure I stay on the right track. You know, and she's what keeps me grounded too.
That's great. That's great. Well, like I said, I'm going to go around. I've got some questions for each of you. But Karen, is there a song, a role, a project, or a collaboration in your career that felt like an act of care, either towards someone else or towards yourself?
Well, probably Brian Lasser was the first person I worked with, and I met him when I was kind of floundering as a person, as an artist, as a girl, as a, and I knew I wanted to be singing professionally, but I didn't know how to go about it. And I met him at a restaurant in Chicago where they had singing waiters and waitresses. And I always felt like Brian was taking care of me, that he was one of the first people who saw something in me that he wanted to work with. And so he really did take care of me and guide me through discovering who I was as a performer, as an artist. And, so I think Brian was probably the first taste I had of somebody giving me that kind of care.
And you two were magical together. I mean, just magical.
It was a good relationship. I was very lucky that he was willing to make all those sacrifices that neither one of us really would have called sacrifices at the time. We just knew we wanted to make music with each other. But looking back on it, we were particularly kind of stupid about the business.
But you made it work.
Hey, you know what? We made music and we got through the days. So we made people happy and we made ourselves happy. So
that's great.
What more can you ask?
Deborah, how do you respond when carrying through your art feels heavy, when empathy starts to feel like an emotional exhaustion for you? Because I know how much you care. I appeared with Deborah a few months ago, and the amount of effort you put into making it work for yourself is just incredible. So, and thank you for caring so much.
Well, he did a tribute to Hello Dolly, and I had the opportunity to play Dolly about 20 years ago. And then he said, well, do a song from Hello Dolly. I said, I can't do that without the choreography. I have to do it perfectly. No, I'm not just going to, no, I don't want to ruin that experience for me. So I called up Leroy Reams, and he said he would help me. And we worked a lot on that. I wanted all the choreography just as it was done, because that's who I am. Okay. But the person that was so helpful to me when I was in Hello Dolly was an actor by the name of Tom Ligon. And when they do the overture and you're going to come out and I'm going to come out on that thing, and all of a sudden I got really scared. And And Tom says to me, know your work, throw away old tapes, have an experience, and fill the room with red fur. And, you know, I'm kind of shy in some ways. There is, you know, partly like I've got to be perfect or something, you know, like it's scary. Being on stage, you get all this adrenaline and you have to deal with it. And it was like, now whenever I go on stage, whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head up. No, I think about what he said. Know your work, throw away old tapes, have an experience, and fill the room. Like, and we nowadays, very few people have real life auditions. You have to send in a tape and you're doing it to, hello, telephone, where are the people anymore? But as long as I keep those things in mind, I feel truthful. And I did so enjoy working with you in Hackensack.
Well, that was a fun night.
It was.
And I went back. I opened for Beth Level a few weeks ago, and it was at the same venue. So that was a lot of fun. Maria, in a world that often prioritizes speed, production, and perfection, how do you protect the space that you need for care to flourish in your own creative process?
Wow, that's a great question. And just recently, I've been embracing imperfection because, like a lot of us, you know, we want to be perfect. You know, we want to get it every note right, every lyric. You know, we don't want to go up on a lyric. I mean, at least I'm speaking for myself, but I think it's pretty much, you know, universal. But I have begun to embrace imperfection and accept imperfection and understand that in a live performance, anything can happen, and to not deprive the audience of seeing that you're human and vulnerable, you know, but not to make a big deal about it, but you know, it's just part of the human experience. And if you really want to connect with the audience really wants to connect with you, how, you know, it's just you then you become then they can connect with you in that experience. So that's what I've been doing, you know. And I have been, you know, my spiritual life is really important to me. So I try to remember my spiritual principles that guide me through life and extend into what I'm doing now, which is performing and, you know, doing this fun stuff.
I love that. Thank you for that. Mary, if you could teach upcoming artists one thing about the power of caring in their artistic journey, what would that one thing be?
It's not about you.
Perfect answer. That's great.
Yeah.
And Bob,
Yes.
what does caring through your art look like in action today? And how do you want it to show up in your work moving forward?
Well, I think that to me, it's the audience. When I was talking about Al Jolson and Judy Garland, they gave everything they had to the audience, and I want to feel that I want to do that too. That's what I want to emulate, because they take their time, they put their money down to come and see you, and that's what I want to do the best I can, and I want to reach them in some way. You know, I want them to come out with a smile on their face, or when I'm doing a Judy Garland song, maybe they have a memory of Judy Garland that is precious to them. You know, and it feels like I'm healing myself and I'm healing them at the same time.
That's a perfect answer. Well, I want to thank all of you for being here today. We're almost at the end of our show. I want to tell the audience that's tuned in, thank you for being here. Please leave a comment on YouTube if you can all do the same thing. Hit the like button if you did indeed like this show today, and share this. By doing that, what that does is that increases the ranking of where this video shows up. It's all about the number of likes, comments, and shares that we get. It's as simple as that. It's feeding that beast. And that's what YouTube is interested in terms of how it puts the word out there. A couple of things have come to my mind. One thing, Marilyn May, she says the audience is always the star of the show. And as long as you believe, and I truly believe that, when I walk out in front of it's about the audience, it's not about me. And a name that I've dropped many times on this show, Carol Channing, once said there are entertainers and there are performers. A seal is a performer. It's only interested in getting a fish. It doesn't care about the audience. It doesn't care whether the audience is enjoying it or not. It wants the fish. But an entertainer is always focused on the audience. And that's the difference between great, and you're all entertainers in this room today. I always end I'm going to give each of you a chance to have your final word. It could be about anything that we spoke about today that you want to build upon, anything that we didn't talk about you wish we had, or just any final message you want to leave everyone with. When you finish, you will pick the next person, and so on till the last person says goodbye. And when the last person says goodbye, I will end the show. You don't have to worry about how do I get out of here. I'll take care of it. But I always end my shows with the same message. And that is to go out and do something nice for somebody else without expecting anything in return. All of you have this little device here, and this is my experiment for all of my guests and everyone watching. Go to your Facebook list today. The 8th name that pops up in your emails, rather than responding with an email, respond with a phone call. And let that person know they matter. By doing so, you're going to make their day a little bit brighter, and it's a good thing to do. I think that we are all in where we are in the world right now because of a lack of empathy. Hitting a like button, hitting an emoji, or hitting a share is not communicating with each other. So we need to get back to where we used to be. And that's my request for all of you today. Our dear friend Sean Moniger, he always says we're all in the same storm, but we're in different sized boats. And I always say, I don't care what size boat you're on, as long as you've got a skipper by your side. And with that, I'm going to leave the screen. I'm going to turn it over to you, Maria. And when you finish, you will pick the next person, and so on and so on. If you can all make it tomorrow night, please come spend an hour with me. I'll see you later.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard. Oh, well, I just want to say thank you to everyone on here today. It's been a real honor to be in your presence because you're all incredible artists. And the thing that occurred to me is that we're all channels for artistic expression, and we do it in our unique ways. We may not all be gravitating towards that particular message or delivery, but I so honor and love that we're on earth to do this, because I really do think it's a spiritual path and a spiritual practice that we're in. So I encourage everyone out there to find your voice, to find your unique expression, and just go for it. And I'm going to leave that to Karen now.
Well, I was kind of struck by your embracing imperfection. And I think that allows us to be more human and to appreciate humanity in each other. And I think when you appreciate humanity in each other, you can give more of it and get more in return. And that is my thing for today, is give out some humanity to somebody who needs it, and somebody who might not even know they need it. And now I'm turning it to Bob.
Okay. Well, I first of all, I want to say that it was a wonderful experience being with 4 incredibly talented and beautiful women today. And that has brightened my life very, very much. You are absolutely marvelous. And I think let's just all be happy. And I'm going to turn it over to Deborah.
Well, I think creating something from scratch at home, whether it's a cabaret act or an audition or a play, creating something in your environment is very important. And I hope that everybody listening will share something with someone younger so their work can go on. And those people, those younger people, will get the idea of creating something for themselves as well, because we have to create our own lifeboats. And I love being on Richard Skipper's show. Who knew? You don't have to rehearse. It's just right there in the moment. And I will turn it over to Mary Foster Conklin.
And all I can really add is been a soapbox platform I maintain, which is go see your heroes live. It is an unbelievable, priceless experience. I have been to 4 memorials in 2 months. And all I can think of are the precious moments that we have in a club, supporting each other, and also learning, always learning from our heroes. So go see your heroes live. And thank you, Richard, for the opportunity to share